Hello everyone, welcome to Ferdinand Tutorials. In this video, I want us to look at studying biochemistry in a developing country, just as the title of the video states. Now, studying biochemistry can be filled with mixed feelings, in the sense that you are happy that you got admission to study biochemistry yesterday, and then when you wake up today, you are no longer happy that you're studying biochemistry. Not because you decided to be unhappy naturally, but because there is no practical going on in your courses. You want to learn membrane biochemistry or genetic engineering, and then your lecturer is telling you that we don't have necessary technology, so therefore we're going to do alternative to practicals. And this continues to happen on and on with different lecturers. You don't have any other option than to be angry that you're studying biochemistry in a country that is not developed. So we want to look at what is it like studying biochemistry in a developing country. What are the challenges and what are the gains or advantages of studying biochemistry in this developed country. Now, one of the challenges of studying biochemistry in a developing country is limited access to technologies. And when we begin to look at limited access to technology, we begin to see that in most cases there are not enough reagents, there are not enough laboratory equipment to carry out experiments in the lab. And this actually tries as much as possible to make the course biochemistry not to be interesting, because the student doesn't have access to technologies in the laboratory. Now, another challenge is funding opportunities. Most times, students find it difficult to get funding for their laboratory work. Remember that, let's take for instance, we have lecturers. A lecturer, what they do generally is that they get funding from agencies, government agencies, private agencies, or even individual, that doesn't have an agency that just want to support the work they're doing. An individual can decide to, give out funding to, lecturers. Say, okay, since you want to work on DCMS analysis of on your skin, take this funding of this particular amount and work on it. Whatever you find out, let me know, and then we can see how we can promote the laboratory work. In developing countries, it's usually difficult for lecturers, professors to receive funding opportunities. And now, because there is no funding opportunities, you see that students find it difficult to actually work in the lab, because for a lecturer to integrate a particular student, a lecturer might be able to pay the student, maybe pay for their master's program or pay for their PhD program, because that someone has already paid for the research work. So in developing country, funding are always difficult, and because funding are difficult, we tend to see individuals that don't really have enough resources to actually work in the laboratory, making the lecturers to actually take the brunt. Are you getting what I'm saying? We no longer see individuals that want to work in a laboratory. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, beyond funding difficulty, we also have another challenges, which is curriculum limitation. Now, most times we begin to see that individuals studying biochemistry in a developing country, their curriculum is not up to date. Their curriculum is outdated. Some of the lecturers teaching the students today in a developing country biochemistry, they use curriculum of 1990, curriculum of 1980s to teach students biochemistry today. And those kind of students, you begin to see that they cannot compete with students in the developed country, because students in the developed country have a curriculum that is up to date. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. So, in a nutshell, beyond limiting access to technology, funding difficulty, curriculum limitation is also another challenge is that students studying biochemistry in a developing country experience. Now, the last challenge I want to mention here is brain drain. When we're talking about brain drain, you begin to see that there are some qualified biochemistry, graduates that can decide, okay, since a developing country like Nigeria cannot be able to pay me my salary, it's better I travel to maybe United Kingdom or I travel to Canada, because in Canada my experience can be paid for, my intelligence can be paid for. Do you understand? People can hire you and then pay you a huge amount of money, and before you know it, you are living large, you are happy, you are earning a good source of income. The income is coming continuously. So who doesn't like that? So brain drain is another difficulty or another challenge that individuals, studying biochemistry can, see. Because when the best of biochemists travel out, in search of a greener pasture, those remaining here will be less than, intellect. Are you getting what I'm saying? They will not be the best of the biochemists. So we just have leftovers here teaching our students. Are you getting what I'm saying? So that can also cause it. Now I want us to look at some of the advantages of studying biochemistry. Some of the advantages or opportunities of studying biochemistry in a developing country is one, addressing issues to local health problems. Now, as a student who is studying biochemistry in a developing country like Nigeria, Philippines, India, Kenya, Ghana, you begin to see that there are several health challenges affecting individuals in your population. Talking about infectious disease, talking about malnutrition, talking about genomic diseases. Are we together now? Now, as an individual studying biochemistry, you can decide to, take up one of these particular, health problems and then research on it and work on it and then get out solutions. So that means you are having a whole lot of research experience. You're having a whole lot of research topic, that you can work on because you're studying biochemistry. Now, beyond that, another, opportunities that students can see or individuals can see, when they're studying biochemistry is, when you graduate, you can actually try as much as possible to, build a lab or build a research facilities. Since there is no research facilities in your school as a result of, government not funding it, or as a result of individual not bringing money to build a standard biochemistry lab, as a graduate, you can decide to say, okay, this is actually an opportunity for me to, spread the word of biochemistry around the state. You can decide to build a research facility in a particular state. And because you build that research facilities, individual can come there, run practicals. Individual can come there, intern in your lab and all that. So you've, open up an opportunity for young biochemistry students to learn from you and also gain the huge experience. Another opportunity is developing affordable solutions. Now, let's take, for instance, you've researched on infectious diseases. Now, researching on infectious diseases is not just enough. You have to provide solution. As an individual in a developing country, your solution needs to be affordable. Do you understand? So when you develop an affordable solution, it's an opportunity for, young people. It's an opportunity for, populace living in that particular nation. Are you getting what I'm saying? So as a scientist, as a biochemist, when you provide solution, one of the things you must make sure is that the solution is affordable, because people living in that developed country, they don't really have the well to do in terms of finance. So we need to try as much as possible to provide what? Affordable solution. Are we there now? So now the last opportunities that we can see as a result of studying biochemistry in a developing country is entrepreneurial potential. Now, when you provide this solution, individuals can say, okay, I want to invest in this your solution. Now, when they invest in this solution, let's say if I invest in this solution, I can take up to maybe 10% or 15% of, the gain and all that. Now, before you know it, individuals are investing in a particular solution of what you've researched on. Are you getting what I'm saying? And as they're investing on the solution, it's entrepreneurship. I hope you know entrepreneurship is buying and selling. So as they've invested, when you sell out that your solution at an affordable rate, and then almost everybody can afford it, that means there is more money coming in, and then you can actually pay your what? Investors. Are we together now? So, as much as we have such challenges studying biochemistry in the developing country, there are also opportunities. There are many opportunities apart from the one I've listed in this particular video. There are a lot of opportunities out there for a student studying biochemistry in a developing country. So, I don't want to give up because, the experimental, experience is not there. The laboratory is not there for you to carry out your research work, or your teachers are not teaching you with laboratory work, and then each time they come to class they say alternatives to practical. Please don't give up. Don't give up. Continue growing. Are we there? When you graduate, you can intern in a lab. Are we there? You can go for your internship. That's why your IT is a very important part, in your study year. Don't take it for granted. This is when you now intern, go to different laboratory, and then volunteer, get the experience. Look at how to carry out research works. Look at how to use laboratory equipment. Are we together? It will help you not just here in the country, but in case you see opportunity outside the nation. Are we together? We have to stay together, try as much as possible to impact our generation, and then hopefully we'll be the people that will change that world. Thank you for watching this video. I want to see you again in my next video. Do well to share with a friend or with a study group or coursemate.